The snow was still falling when the first shot rang out. It wasn't loud at first, more like a crack swallowed by the cold air. But within seconds, the silence of St. Petersburg shattered into chaos. Men, women, even children, all running, slipping, screaming. Moments earlier, they had been singing hymns. Now they were being hunted. But how does a peaceful march, led by a priest, carrying icons and portraits of their beloved Tsar, turn into a massacre that shakes an empire to its core? To understand that moment, you have to step into a Russia already on the edge. By 1905, the Russian Empire under Nicholas II was cracking. Workers labored endlessly in factories for little pay. Food was scarce. And to make matters worse, Russia had just suffered humiliating defeats in the Russo-Japanese War, a war that exposed how weak and outdated the empire really was. Frustration wasn't just growing, it was boiling. Enter Georgy Gapon, a charismatic priest with an unusual idea. He believed the Tsar wasn't the problem, that if only the little father knew the suffering of his people, he would fix it. So, Gapon organized a peaceful protest. Not a rebellion, not a riot, a plea. On January 22, 1905, thousands of workers and their families gathered in the freezing streets. They carried religious icons, sang hymns, and held a petition asking for basic rights, fair wages, better working conditions, and political representation. They weren't marching against the Tsar, they were marching to him. But there was one problem. Nicholas II wasn't there. Instead, soldiers of the Imperial Guard waited. As the crowd approached the Winter Palace, they expected to be welcomed, or at least heard. After all, these were loyal subjects. Some even believed the soldiers would join them. But then, the orders came. Fire. At first, many didn't even realize what was happening. People dropped, blood staining the snow, but others kept walking forward, confused, until the second volley came. Then, the third. Panic erupted. Mothers shielded their children, fathers tried to carry the wounded, only to be shot themselves. The peaceful march dissolved into a nightmare. Some tried to flee across frozen canals, slipping and falling as bullets chased them. No one knows the exact number of dead. Some say hundreds, others say thousands. But the real number? It didn't matter, because something far more important had just died that day. Faith. The illusion that the Tsar cared. The belief that change could come peacefully. And just like that, Bloody Sunday became a turning point. Survivors didn't just mourn, they transformed. Workers who once carried icons now carried anger. Strikes erupted across the empire, factories shut down, cities fell into unrest. Even soldiers began to question their loyalty. One of the most shocking moments came months later, when sailors aboard the mutiny on the battleship Potemkin rebelled against their officers. It wasn't just civilians anymore. The empire itself was starting to fracture from within. Nicholas II, shaken, made promises, introducing limited reforms and creating a parliamentary body known as the Duma. But it was too little, too late. Because once people see the truth, they can't unsee it. Bloody Sunday didn't topple the Tsar immediately, but it planted something dangerous, a seed that would grow through years of unrest, through war, through revolution, until, in 1917, the Romanov dynasty would finally collapse. And it all traces back to that frozen morning, when a peaceful march met gunfire, when hope met bullets, and when an empire unknowingly signed its own death sentence.
Bloody Sunday changed Russia forever, but how many other nations have walked the same bloody path? Follow for more dark histories, forgotten tragedies, and the moments that reshaped the world.